at Mania. So we'll see. All right, basically triple main event at this point. Rousey and Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. They've done an excellent job building it up until this point. Ronda Rousey's WWE debut is at WrestleMania. No surprise, she's one of the biggest stars in the world in any combat or entertainment platform. Against Kurt Angle and Triple H and Stephanie, I don't expect a lot from this match other than maybe Triple H and Kurt Angle doing most of the work. It'll be interesting to see how Kurt Angle does in the environment of having, it's a tag match still, but you have the women, Ronda, who I don't know how her training is going, based on the video that was surfacing of her messing around at one of her MMA gyms that they're sparring wrestling wise. It looked good, but now you're being trained in an actual WWE ring. Stephanie McMahon's not a wrestler. There's not going to be a lot that's going to go on between the two of them. I can see Ronda slamming Triple H or doing whatever with Triple H. Because, we've seen Stephanie go through a table by Roman Reigns, and, we've seen her get hit by a guy. I could see something like that where Triple H pedigrees Ronda, where the roles would be reversed. And then Stephanie gets the pin. But I don't see them doing that to Ronda on her first match, so I think Ronda and Angle win and set up a bigger feud with the Authority. But I'll be interested to see after WrestleMania, win, lose, or draw, whatever it may be, where Ronda goes from here. Is she really a full-time performer? Is she really going to be here often for the WWE? Is she, it'll be interesting to see where they go from there. And during the course of the year until next WrestleMania, where I could see Charlotte versus Ronda, or even Asuka versus Ronda, which would be absolutely intense. Now that Ronda would have another year of action under her belt, assuming she's a full-time performer. WWE Championship Dream Match: AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What more can be said? It's been a dream match since Nakamura got signed and AJ Styles was brought in. Wrestle Kingdom, everybody, all the smart fans think about that. And, we'll see what winds up happening with that, but I think Nakamura wins, gets his moment. I wouldn't be surprised. And especially with Styles being injured, and he's been working a really light schedule. I don't know what the extent of the injury is. None of us know what the real injury even is to begin with. But I can see them having Nakamura win, giving Styles a little bit of time off, and then come back, have another match with Nakamura, and they can play it off that he's actually injured, something that Nakamura did to him. Play off that way, and then give him about a month off or so to recover, which would be a smart thing for them to do, especially with the investment of AJ Styles. So I think Nakamura wins. Nakamura wins the match and will be your new WWE Champion. And then finally, the Universal title match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I don't remember a title match in a long time that has had me so disinterested. And it's not because of the fact that, all the news surrounding Brock, whether is he going to leave for the UFC, which Dana White pretty much confirmed it, that he is going to the UFC. Contract negotiations for him to come back, pretty much exploded. Anyway, in the WWE, and it's been the year-long plan to have Brock and Roman at this WrestleMania, and for the Universal Championship, more than likely this will be the one that closes out the show, which is bogus, but that's besides the point. And the angle, when they were first starting the angle, when Roman did that work shoot or shoot, whatever it may be, and that was a great start, and then it just deflated fast. With Brock not being there, with McMahon's involvement, which is pretty cool, but they should have done that the next week. You know what I mean? Keep it going, or I don't even know if they did do that the next week. I'm pretty sure they did. I don't know. Pretty sure they did do it the next week, but either way, that was pretty cool. But then, meh. I mean, as much of a genius on the mic Paul Heyman is, I don't think he could have saved that from. I don't think he could have put any more interest on the match that there's already in this match, and I think the news for me personally, and I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan. For me, the news of Brock going back to the UFC really killed it for me because now you definitely know Roman's winning, which you kind of figured was the case anyway. Now you know Roman's winning, and the fans will probably wind up shitting on Brock very much the same way that they did with him at WrestleMania 20 when he was leaving for the NFL. After WrestleMania 20, there will be chants up the wazoo, you sold out, or, the na 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 song, whatever it may be. Chanting UFC or steroids or whatever it may be, because as we all know, Brock got busted for steroids for the UFC. It's why he couldn't compete for so long. So, Roman Reigns wins this match, and now we'll have Roman as Universal Champion, and, that's another one where it is interesting in a way to see where it goes, because you can have Samoa Joe waiting in the wings wrestling you for the title. You could have Finn Balor. You could have The Miz once he comes back after losing the IC title, which I would love to see. And I would love to see Miz get the chance of being Universal Champion. I would also be wondering if, now that everything's split branded, do they do what they did in the very beginning of the first brand split back in the early 2000s and have the women's champion merge and the world champion merge this way, that they can go on both shows, and then you can have one main event with whatever roster it may be. But that's just a pipe dream, because you already know Universal, they already gave up with the pay-per-views, but they're not going to give up in the other ways. They have too much talent. Hopefully they use them right, but they have too much talent to now have a singular show with all of them, because then nobody's going to get used that isn't AJ Styles, Rollins, Balor, Nakamura, Reigns especially, Ambrose when he comes back, so this WrestleMania will be interesting, especially the takeover that preceded it, where it was, obviously an early candidate for event of the year, and now I'm going to give this one an open, objective look, WrestleMania, because it's not NXT, obviously. But it's a different show. It's a different brand. And it's WrestleMania Day, the best day of the wrestling calendar, no matter how the event goes, because Lord knows there's been many a terrible WrestleManias. But it's the day. It's celebration of pro wrestling. It's celebration of, with WrestleMania week being what it is now, it's been a beautiful week of pro wrestling celebration. Now you have Mania and then Raw and SmackDown after, which will be interesting. So, for everybody, it's going to be like, oh, well, good luck, WrestleMania, good luck. I get it, and yeah, good luck WrestleMania, but I'm going to look at it objectively, and the only thing I hope is they just do their thing, and then it'll be its own good show. Just do your thing, let it play out, and just go out there and have a great show. Don't compare yourselves to NXT, because that's kind of not fair at this point to the NXT guys, because they already know too that that's not possible top in that show. So thank you for tuning in, guys, for this really early edition of Open Mic Wrestling Night here on Filling a Void Podcast Network. I'm not a regular host here on the network anymore, but if you want wrestling talk, please go tune in to the Blake and Sal Show and tune in to the Scholars of Wrestling. Blake and Sal Show uploads every Friday, and Scholars upload every Saturday. So be on the lookout for those. Be sure to listen to their preview shows. Blake and Sal's got, Mania week, and then a separate one for TakeOver and WrestleMania. And I know they're going to have a review show, as will the Scholars this upcoming week, so be sure to tune into them as well. for their opinions. They're both great shows, so just go ahead, take a look at, and listen to them as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy WrestleMania number 34 from New Orleans, Louisiana tonight. Until next time, thank you so much. And as always, whenever I host a show, go support your local independent wrestling. It's very important to do. Enjoy your WrestleMania day, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your WrestleMania day. Enjoy the Raw and SmackDown after. I will see you when I see you.